Kia ora everyone, this is set 7596, the Trash Compactor Escape, which released in 2010 as part of the Toy Story 3 wave that was tying into the release of the movie. It retailed for 50 USD, which equates to around 100 NZD at the time. The set is now valued at $143 NZD, brand new, which actually isn't too bad. The set's overview here is the Trash Compactor ending sequence from Toy Story 3, depicted in LEGO with some really great features and characters. If you've been following the reviews of this series, you'll know that we have talked about the scaling of objects for the human world and how they work with these Toy Story minifigure sets. The human world objects are scaled up because the toys here are depicted as minifigures. So sets like the Pizza Planet truck appeared to be a lot larger than how a truck would look in LEGO. While none of that weird scaling actually applies here, this set is very weirdly scaled where some objects might kind of match the source material and the reality of things, but some are very obvious that they do not match that scale at all. If we spend too much time talking about the scaling, it'll probably detract from what's a really solid set, and it's not that big of a deal really if there are no human minifigures that were actually included in any of the Toy Story sets anyway. So the set is split up into 3 different sections, a feature that I'm personally never a fan of. I don't like it if they can't connect onto it, but we'll discuss that in a little bit, I guess. So the set is split up into 3 different sections, and we'll be looking at each piece individually. We start with this control system here, which is as simple of an idea as you could possibly get. The build is made up of these 2 square plates and some columns that connect them together. Removing Lotso here shows us the elements at play. We have a sticker design of a fire extinguisher and a telephone, as well as a control system with a red button to stop the trash compactor from operating. A lever and a blue signal light here as well. So far, not off to a great start. But we'll see if this build can turn itself around. Oh, cool, a crane. Yeah, good start. This is where the scaling really does start to get a little confusing. The aliens here are shown as operating the crane, as seen in the famous moment where everyone in the theaters now finally felt relief. We can thank the aliens for saving the gang. But you can see just how tiny the aliens are in the actual scene. They really do need each other to work on that crane. Here, it's likely that just one of them could do it, even blindfolded, no worries at all. Same build design as the control platform build, 2 plates and columns that are holding it up. The crane is a really nice dark green and built on a 360 rotating brick for full movement. The most notable feature here is the rope and claw attachment. My crane has seen its fair share of play over the years, so the rope is feeling a little worn at this point. I've always loved the simplicity of this build. The claw is a rubber band wrapped around some claw prongs, and that's it. That piece then gets attached to a Technic part, and the rope is tied around it. It functions so incredibly well, though it's a little awkward kind of putting it together at first. The prongs can slip out from under you very easily. The function of the claw is to rescue Hamm. That claw can wrap around him very easily. It's likely that it could probably hold onto some other figures as well, but it is intended to be saving the pig here. And then we have this really neat working line with a dumpster, conveyor belt, and a furnace, all fully working with individual play feature toggles. There's some extra details underneath, like what I think is maybe a fire hydrant of some kind, some connectors to hold the entire thing together. The dumpster part is built the same as everything else so far, but the plates are smaller. The body piece used is the same one from the Lotso's dump truck, but coloured in grey. There's this little brick build that can make sure that it stands up well, and there's lots of room inside for other figures and pieces. The conveyor belt is really cool. The build is actually different now with these lattice wall parts to make up the base of the structure. Nothing much underneath, but atop we do have the conveyor belt line, and on the sides we have those wagon side pieces to help keep everything inside the area. There's no base or plate or other bricks inside, just the rubber banded conveyor belt. We then end the sequence with the furnace, which doesn't feature anything inside, but it still functions nicely as the end point. There's some flames and stickers and flame pieces around the rim of the build. Building this section is a little fragile as most of the parts are quite skinny, and the 1x4 plate that holds them together is only holding it at the very top there at the very end of your build. But now we'll run the full circuit and show why the set is as fun as it is. You can start the working line by dumping your figures and trash heaps from this dumpster onto the conveyor belt. Spin the wheel connected to the gears and tip them all out. Once on the belt, you can rotate the wheel and get them to the very end by that furnace. You can either chuck them in or have the crane come and save them at last minute. It still works, but it's a little bit dated, so neither of the figures did what I actually wanted them to do this time around, but that also means that they were saved. It's really good because you can display the set as though it looks like it's in motion. So this is Woody, for now the only time that I'm covering a Woody figure on this channel, but I will make up for that at a later date with the other sets. I plan to fix this in the future. I say this because this is a dirty variant of Woody and I'd like to have the cleaner one. The Toy Story 3 line released dirty variants of the heroes to better fit this end sequence. Really cool ideas throughout, and I do like getting battle damaged-ish variants of figures like this. Woody uses this really cool molded head that I think works excellent for the Toy Story line characters. Me personally, I like the minifig heads that were included in the Toy Story 4 sets as well, but the molded heads just just feel a bit more toy-like for in-universe toys. It helps to distinguish them when I display them amongst my other Disney figures that I have. Woody was such a revolutionary minifigure with his arms and legs that I almost forgot to mention it when I was writing this. It's just so talked about now, it feels kind of redundant to bring it up. But this was the very first time that we ever saw a minifigure with these kinds of proportions. I think it's perfect, and it's something that I think a couple of other characters across movies could benefit from. Now, to everyone's surprise, these pieces made a return in the LEGO Avatar line more than a decade later. Only Woody and the Na'vi used these parts, but mark my words, we are getting a Nightmare Before Christmas LEGO Ideas set that releases sometime next year. I anticipate that the arms and legs weren't just brought back for Avatar. Great head prints of dirt and scrapes, worried expression, which makes me really sad to see him this way. He's beautiful. Here he is compared to his cleaner look. The expression is different and the look is cleaner. Very good but simple differences. Hamm was a really neat, specially molded piece that was offered in 3 of the Toy Story sets in total. LEGO made sure to get their money's worth on this figure. This version of Hamm is really fun. He's got some dirt and markings from the trash compactor all over him. He also has some markings that look like paint, which could very well be from the trash heap here, or it could be from the kids at Sunnyside Daycare. Here he is compared to his cleaner version of Hamm that released in the Pizza Planet truck. Hamm also includes a rubber cork, which allowed you to open him up and reveal some LEGO coins inside. Hamm works as a LEGO coin piggy bank, a great addition to the set. The aliens follow the same pattern here. They're the same figures as before, but they've got some dirt marks and some paint that's applied to them. You get 2 of them here as well. Not the accurate number of 3 though, which is interesting. Both use the exact same torso piece as one another, but one has yellow face paint and the other has purple. I wish the aliens at some point had something else that was a little bit different about them, like maybe an eye closed because it's covered in dirt, or a scared expression, or something else. They do make for good variants though. And here's Lotso, who appeared in 3 sets in total, and in 2 of those sets he appeared like this. So really, the Lotso's Truck Clean variant is the special variant. He looks really angry, and I still wish that we had a Lotso who looked happy. It's a slightly different angered look compared to the clean version, but neither of them seem very friendly, and this one definitely shouldn't look friendly anyway. It definitely fits the scenario that he looks this way. I didn't mention this in the Lotso truck review, but he might have been one of the first times that LEGO had produced a bigger figure than normal. The Cave Troll and Hulk weren't out for another 2 years, and that Wampa figure was the same year as the Lotso, so the early 2010s were a really good year for experimenting on LEGO. Instructions were given to us in 2 booklets, individual images on both of them as well. One featured the controls and crane, the other was a conveyor belt. The theming on the inside was just a nice light blue. The back of the instructions here featured the sets released for this wave, plus the addition of the RC Racer and the Woody's Roundup. An amazing theme of sets altogether, and I would love to see some Disney 100 remakes. The other manual continued that blue theming. We also have some images of the set fully complete, the inventory list, and the play features, which I have gone over. You end your build with the LEGO Club website advertisement and the classic win kit. So the trash compactor has some minor flaws about maybe the sizing and maybe some bare bones in its variants and a couple of the features like the control panel, but it's also one of the few Toy Story playsets that accurately depicts a key scene, and the playable functions are some of the best that I've ever seen in a set that's like this. I love the conveyor belt type of design, and I think that it's one of the strongest additions to the LEGO Toy Story line. If you enjoyed this look at an older LEGO Toy Story set, liking and subscribing does help to support this channel in making more videos like this. Ka kite anō.